Hi everybody, John just popping in here. It's not really my sort of comeback yet after the summer holiday. I just wanted to sort of put this video out there because I thought it was interesting, and you know, sometimes these threads have a way of drifting past me, and I sort of finally put my entry in months after everybody else has sort of done it, and it seems a bit irrelevant. But while this is on my mind, I'll just slip this in here. Enjoy these gatefolds. The ones that I've just got, some of my favourites, and yeah, it was interesting to see other people's gatefolds that they show. Apologies to those that have seen my gatefolds over and over and over again, but to all you that haven't, enjoy. Cheap Thrills by Big Brother and the Holding Company. I remember buying this, actually. I remember the occasion in Amoeba Records in San Francisco. Very psychedelic kind of photograph there of the live performance. A nice picture on the back there of Janis Joplin. This is the Doors, Soft Parade. And this is how the gatefold looks inside. It's quite an interesting picture, I think. Nicely rendered. Weird scenes inside the gold mine. Simple, basic. Got a classic shot there, I think, of the band. Jim Morrison being Jim Morrison. And some, yeah. As a designer, I always look at the typography and wince more often than not of some of the shortcomings. Things like this. That's what we call worms, where you get sort of space that sort of connects up through the text and leaves big glaring holes. And the only reason why you get those, apart from it being badly rendered, see that little line down there, is because it's been justified. Justified in the way that it has, to try and make this straight edge along here, which is unnecessary. It was invented to put text in newspapers. It's not really appropriate unless you really need to do it, and that's not a case where it was. This is Feliciano's album. It's one of the latter ones. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you which one it is chronologically, but I do know that it came out a little bit later. Now, the inside of the record, I didn't think is particularly inspiring. You know, it's just the regular layout of lyrics. I do think that's a pretty cool photograph of him, though. Definitely a child of the 60s there. But interestingly, the exterior of the gatefold, I've always thought was, you know, pretty unusual in that at the scene, so I got people crossed with animals, and with this guy playing the harp is fairly average, I suppose. But over here you've got some kind of elephant people And over here you've got sort of a lady that's a tiger in the corner, and this woman's got wings, so some sort of griffin, I suppose. But well, it's a nice. I like the colours in it. One of my favourites. This is a French, I believe they're a French-Canadian band called Harmonium. A lovely picture on the front and the exterior gatefold. It's really quite attractive. Doesn't really show so well there, does it? And then the inside is, I think, very, very nice. Sort of an interesting scene progression, 4 panels with the colourful butterflies. Focus. When you see this album close up, you can't see that there is text, the name of the band spelt in the dots. But if you open it up like that and step back, you can see the whole band name, Focus, spelt in the dots. And inside it's got a big silver eye, again made with these dots. Cream, I'm sure most people have seen this. Wheels on Fire, or Wheels of Fire album. It's got the silver psychedelic illustration. On the back, on the inside, you've got the colourful eyes. Paul Kantner. I understand this is essentially a Jefferson airplane record, but again it's more silver and black than the gatefold. I think it's quite attractive. Nicely done. So this is a new reissue of this particular album by Cressida. Really good progressive rock record this. Very spectacular gatefold. Get that to stand up. Jeffrey Toll made some very nice record covers. This is Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. And the gatefold is a nice, attractive comic strip. Where it focuses on Ian Anderson. I've never actually read that, actually. I'm sure it's interesting. British neo-progressive band called Palace. I think it's their first album. I've spoken about this a few times before. Now the inside, it's just a way for them to present their lyrics, I guess. Another line of notes. I've always thought that the illustration that they use on the cover was quite nice. If I can get it to sit still so that it doesn't glare. Worth looking at. badger. One live badger. Open this up. So this is illustration, a painting by Roger Dean. So here we have Atomic Rooster. The gatefold isn't necessarily spectacular, but it is a very nice group photo of the kind that they used to do. Death walks behind you. Paranoid. Another great band photograph inside. I think that's a really nice picture, really nicely rendered, and the typography on this in comparison is really much nicer. It is justified here along the bottom. It seems to be the small print. Now, this is Captain Beefheart and his magic band. Yeah, still got a price sticker on that. We should take that off sometime. And there's the back, made to look like an envelope saying photos do not bend. And then there's this particularly spooky photograph of the people in the band. They all look like someone that you don't really want to meet anywhere, anytime. One of my favourite bands. This is Flash. In the can, you can see that that's yeah, a chest there. And the inside is quite nice. I don't really know how I can show that. See it sideways. Nectar. Nectar had some beautiful record covers. I've got quite a trippy photograph of the band inside. It's a band called The Happenings. I think they were sort of 60s psychedelic pop band. Don't know much about them. The inner sleeve, or the inner fold, is sort of ugly ass glaring pink colour with psychedelic pictures of the band. And then you've got, I don't know if you can see this, yeah, a picture of a person, a naked person, and this is sort of, yeah, in place of their head. Very unusual. Jump forward a decade or so. This is Adam Ant, or Adam and the Ants, Prince Charming. There's the band on the back. And it's got quite a bold, lush gatefold image. I think it's always worth looking at. This was right at the cusp of bands making pop videos. In fact, Adam and the Ants made some of the earliest pop videos here in the UK. and I think this is pretty much reminiscent of that. Beautiful image. And of course this would have been done before desktop publishing and digital editing was as advanced as it is today. Nonetheless, great picture. So this is Rare Earth, their album called Ma. Regular back. I always like the way they present themselves here in the gatefold. It just looks so dynamic, the band look nice and contrasty there in the photograph, but also this circle shape with the lightning bolt through it, and the way the text is quite well set. This is Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. So the concept of this is that this is a wallet, like a snakeskin wallet. On the inside you have the band, and then you've got this $1 billion note of Alice Cooper in the picture. Quite cool. This record by Donovan is relatively new to me. I haven't had this very long, but I think it's a nice example of how record covers can be made. There's a nice illustration there of Donovan with sort of this star theme. It looks like spots of paint really, but I think the idea is it's supposed to look like the cosmos. And inside you've got this sort of woodcut style illustration. Very nice. The inner sleeve. Even part of the package. And inside there's even a fun poster of Donovan. That show there with stars and moons and stuff on him. And lyrics on the other side. There's some newer records. This is Richard Sjöblom, it's a Swedish progressive rock person. He used to be in Beardfish. Beardfish have some pretty amazing record covers, or album covers I should say. Sadly, most of their catalogue was released only on CDs, which is a shame, because I think a lot of their record covers would really justify being released on record if it were possible. There's the man himself, and yeah, an awful lot of text there. There's a lot of text there for the space, but I think it's presented well. Again, justified, unnecessarily so. But you're not repelled by it. Sometimes when the text is so dense, you really don't have any interest in reading it because it just looks so uncomfortable. Modern progressive rock band. This is Big Train, and their album called Grimm's Pound. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Quite an interesting inner sleeve, I like that. Another one, Jethro Tull, Passion Play. This came out after Thick as a Brick. And inside the gatefold there is well, I don't know if you can see there's a curve here and there's a curve on the opposite side, and what this is all about is this thing here is sort of a mock theatre programme for something called a passion play. So technically you could sit and read the programme to this passion play. I shall make a sort of a first video after the summer holiday kind of thing soon enough. Got a healthy batch of records to show, ones that I've picked up whilst visiting various different places in Wales. I've got a story to tell of meeting up with a VC person on my trip, and stories to tell of some unusual things. Found some quite good records, and I made a really drastic vinyl mistake, shall we say it. Probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever done with a record, but I managed to rectify it, so I'll talk a bit about that in the coming video. Okay everybody, thanks very much, so see you again soon, bye.